So hello everybody. We are I'm choosing the next game for the next series, next Thursday series. So let's just see what we got here. There's about 10 or 12 names on here. And they're all hidden, so I don't know what I'm getting. Let's find out what we're playing next after Ed, Edd and Eddy. Mario Golf. Alrighty. I only added this one literally a couple days before this, and I'm excited to play it. Heck yeah. I'll see you in the game. Bye bye. I don't know why I said bye bye, but I did. I'll see you there.
Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Woohoo!
Hello everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Quite an intro for a golf game, right? I know. I'll be honest, this first episode's probably going to be a long one. Yes, I want to save a creative file. This first episode's going to be a long one because I got some explaining to do about the mechanics and whatnot in this game. Just gonna start with one where we got a broadcast character here. You notice that there's 4 blank spots here. We'll unlock those later. But Mario Golf. There's quite a lot to do in this game. And it's gonna be similar to Hot Just Golf 3. Honestly, to a degree. But there's a heck of a lot extra to do because we got doubles, wing attack, oh god, club slots, court attack, speed golf, near pin, side games. We have a lot of stuff to get through in this game. It's gonna be a long series, but I'm actually looking forward to it because I never beat this game as a kid. I didn't play it all that much though, to be fair. I only played through a few tournaments, maybe a few character matches. That's about it. So this is gonna be a long series. I'm not gonna play. I'm not. Gonna, you can play all of these. You can play speed golf, grand tech, club shots on all the courses. But these three I'll show off on like one course, and that's it. But for now, let's just go ahead and start with a good old tournament on Lakitu Cup here. Yes, I am, Toad. And we're gonna go ahead and play with Mario for the first episode because it's Mario. It's Mario Golf. I might as well use him. So, as per usual, you'll get an overview of the hole every time you play any hole. Sometimes I'll let this play out, probably not after the first couple times. But it's pretty similar to Hot Shots Golf, with at least the main mechanic, the 3 button system. However, ooh, the control's drifting, because of course it is. However, unlike Hot Shots Golf, instead of just seeing the landing grid, because that's all we could see in Hot Shots Golf, we could see the full trajectory of our shot. And if you pay attention in the bottom right there on the ball itself, if I press the D-pad, I can change the arc of the shot. Now that doesn't change it for the shot. I have to, when I swing, I have to move my analog stick to those specific locations. So I can actually get that kind of swing. It makes it interesting. And then, using the L and R buttons, you can reduce how much power you want to see on the bar. Of course, I could set it here and still hit it full power. But this lets me narrow down where I want to. Lets me kind of make my shot more precise to where I want to hit it. But of course, T shot, which can swing immediately. And you'll see next to Toad there is a plus or minus 1. That means when I take my shot, after I set the power, which is where Mario in the bottom left is, yeah, thanks Boo, he'll always tell you every couple seconds to take a swing. But that means it can add plus 1% power to my shot or minus 1% power to my shot, and I can try to adjust during my swing to do that accordingly. And then we have power. Well, I was going to say we have wind, but there's no wind. That would normally be displayed in top right, but there's no wind on these. There's simply not going to be enough wind on the first course. Usually maybe 1 or 2 miles per hour, but there's not much. And power shots. Power shots work a lot differently than they did in Hot Shots Golf. Hot Shots Golf, they added 10 yards to your shot. I think here it adds 10% power to your shot. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I think that's how it works. But you'll also notice we only have 6 of them. However, if I hit full power and come back and get perfect impact, I will keep the power shot. So it's a risk and reward kind of deal. Also, I can also set my own impact, or I'm going to go ahead and take my first swing here. If I just press A again, it'll do an auto shot, which gives you a randomly generated impact, which is generally typically decent. Not always perfect, but typically decent. And a best drive. So this first episode is going to be kind of loaded with information because, well, there's a lot to go over here. So, the first episode is probably going to be longer than any other episode, but first here I don't have to do this, but I'm going to. Because I need to practice this a little bit, and with my stick drift, it's not going to help much. But here I'm going to do a manual shot. And you saw, I could control it. Now with a manual, with the auto swing, you can't set a spin, because you set spin when you set the impact yourself. And putting. Putting is way different than Hot Shots Golf games, because I feel like, at least in this Mario Golf, which is the only one, well, I've played one on the Switch, but not much. I've always been interested in the Mario Golf games, but I've never played one to completion. But putting feels a lot different, but there's also just not much to go off of here, so... You can see in the top, like on the top part of the screen, top middle, it's 15.7 feet to the hole, and it's going 0.3 feet downhill, so basically just hit it there. And it should go. Basically, and you could see there was basically no curvature through the hole anyways. And of course, like Hot Shots Golf, all characters have a celebration. Or negative if they don't do well. And you also saw badges. Birdie badges. You get, obviously, every hole you get a birdie badge. You only unlock something for getting 50 of them. So that's my main goal, to get 50 of them in the tournaments. Obviously, it's not just from one tournament, because there's only 18 holes. It's all tournaments. I think you do get an award if you get all of them, but the award is in the Game Boy Advance game. Like, you can connect the two games together, but I don't know how, and I never will because I never played that game. Alright, let's look at the standings. Let's just take a minute to even look at the standings. We got a Bob Bomb. How did a Bob Bomb get a birdie? How does a Bob Bomb even hold a golf club? You know what? Don't question it. There's some references in here that I'm not going to get because it's like Zelda references or even other Nintendo IPs. Then there's some weird ones. Iron Toadstool, Toad, Glorpedo, Paratrooper, Luigi and Peach are tied at +1. Riku, I don't know who that is. A2C. And then we'll just have some weird ones like that. Like, maybe that's a reference, but A2C. I don't know. Sandtrap got +8. Sandtrap is golfing. Interesting. T-Dog. And Hank. I think Hank is... I don't know. Casey at bat. Like I said, there's a bunch of references here, but I don't know. I don't know most of them. Because I don't know many Nintendo IPs. But I've done most of the explaining now. If there's something else I need to explain, I will explain it when it comes up. I'm just going to go ahead and mostly skip these because I'm too impatient. But luckily for you guys, I can't skip my shots. So when I take a swing, we have to watch the whole shot. And you did see in the last hole when I got a perfect swing, we got the animation of the ball like Mario has a fireball. I think this two animation. Like the fireball is shared with one other character. So there's like 20 characters, so there's like 10 animations. Alright, it's going down here a little bit, so I wanna... And there's again no wind. I'm gonna do this. I didn't hit that hard enough, so I'm gonna put topspin on it. And that's how you put topspin. You can do super topspin if you press A and B. Or you can do a backspin by putting BB or BA for super backspin. And that topspin was completely worthless. That put us in a terrible position. Ooh, that's going uphill a lot. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that full power. But yeah, it's like something like this. It's like I barely have to aim like here-ish maybe. And that should genuinely be close, but that might not even reach the hole, honestly. As weird as that may seem. So I'm gonna go to the medium. Oh, I didn't compensate enough actually. Putting is very touchy in this game. It's something I have learned while somewhat practicing it for this series. So, we'll see how it goes, but should go through the rest of this pretty quick now. It's mostly just, for the first few courses, it's mostly just standard golf stuff. Like, you might see some things here and there, but it's genuinely mostly just normal golf stuff until, like, third or fourth course. That starts making more Mario kind of stuff.
Nice on.
And I am not doing well on those approaches. My stick drift is not helping me here, can you tell? Typically when you get this shot at the hole, you're gonna go in. Not always, but pretty often.
Very well done.
Yeah, Mario has really over-the-top celebrations in this game, I feel like. Although, to be fair, if I got a birdie, I would be celebrating too. I still have not gotten a birdie. Then again, I haven't been on the course in a long time. Wow, we were aimed directly at that sand trap. Can I go over that? Gonna try. There we go. Saved our power shot because I got a perfect shot. That's really what you want to try to do when you use a power shot, is save it. Because you only got 6. It doesn't increase, it doesn't decrease. It only decreases when you miss the perfect impact. But it only increases in like bonus game modes where you can increase it by other means. But in normal tournament like this, you get 6, and you can only get more. You can only keep them instead of losing them. So you want to be careful when you use a power shot. That was lucky.
Very well done.
Yeah. So now I'm mostly just gonna be talking about playing the game. Again, this first course there's not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on. It's the very first course. You want to make it easy and simple. First par 5, you're on hole 5 because of course. Of course, I'm gonna use a power shot because it just makes sense for par 5. Can I save it? Just barely. The impact is pretty well forgiving. It's that little green zone, and then the lid outline on the bottom. You can't see it too well when I'm using the power shot, but when I go back here, you can see the light a lot better. That's most of your impact zone, but where the little cursor starts is where you want to hit it back, just like Hot Just Golf games. That's why I said it's pretty similar. I'm kind of surprised I didn't play this more often when I was a kid, but I just didn't for some reason. Even though these are good games, I hear a lot about these. And I'm finally giving this one a full try. This is going to be close to 100% playthrough. I say that because there's one thing I'm not going to unlock. And I will explain that. Well, I guess I can explain that. There is one, when you do a versus match, or when you use AIs in general, you can set them to certain difficulties. But there's one difficulty that's locked when you start the game. I missed that. God damn. Like I said, the putting's very different compared to the Hot Just Golf games. So it will take me a little bit to get used to it, but yeah. But going back to the thing that I'm not going to be unlocking is there's one difficulty for the AI that you have to unlock by playing through the game. That is essentially it's called Ace difficulty. And it is the hardest difficulty in the game. So you have to unlock it. How do you unlock it? Well, you have to use every character in the game to unlock it. But by that I mean you have to beat every tournament, or every specific version of a tournament that we won't unlock for a little while. Every specific version of a tournament to unlock the character. Or not the character, god dang, to unlock that difficulty. So that's the one thing we're not going to do is that. And Wayne also heavily affects how the ball rolls and everything, as you saw in that level. So don't expect me to get any scores like I did in Hot Just Golf 3. Or 4 for that matter. I'm just wanting to beat the tournaments, and that's worry about it. Which should be easy enough, because if I remember correctly, the tournament scores were actually like really low. Alright, stop doing that. Alright, accuracy is a bit off, so I'm going to give that super top spin so I can get up there a little ways. Alright, didn't need super top spin, whatever. I think that's okay. Oh, wow, wait a minute. Yeah, it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to the button. But we'll get there. And also, like, putting is not affected, just like Hot Just Golf 4 or Hot Just Golf games, putting's not affected by the character you choose at all. Putting's the same for everyone. It's only their normal drivers, islands, and everything else that's affected, but putting is the same for all characters. So I can't blame that on Mario, because I practiced as Yoshi. I figured we'd play as a titular character in the first episode, because that just made sense to me. But Yoshi is genuinely my favorite Mario character. I said genuinely because, well, I don't play Mario games that often. I really probably should. I do own a few of them, I just don't play them that often. They're not really single-player games, I find. At least, well, all the bonus games, all the Mario Parties and whatnot, they're just not single-player games to me. And my friend absolutely refuses to play Mario Party with me because I got lucky and beat him like the last turn one time, and he hasn't played with me since. Do I blame him? No. At the same time, dang it. Alright. Hey, we're keeping that power shot. Doing good. I thought about putting a top spin on that, but then I thought, it's like, I don't want to be in the left. Yeah, that you're gonna see that new best drive like every time. Wow, I can almost switch to the right. Usually you can't do that. I'm gonna go for it. Kept the power shot again. Yeah, usually until you get stronger characters, you can't really reach the green, but we could have had I done a better shot there. I did not hit that hard enough.
Nice approach.
Oh well.
Birdie putt.
We got a birdie. Almost missed it because my controller is stick drifting so bad.
Very well done.
I will one day get a new controller for these games, but I won't. All my controllers are very old nowadays. I should get a new one. Because can't you buy one of those new GameCube controllers and they'll just work on a GameCube?
Nice.
That Nintendo makes. Well, they're only for the Switch too and whatnot. I don't know. Have to look into that sometime. I'll hit that a bit short. Got a feeling this is just gonna roll. And you'll always see that my ball is always basically gonna go slightly up on the
Birdie putt.
ball on the bottom right there. That's because the stick drift. It's always stick drifting just slightly up. Wow, I way missed that. Got to get in there.
Nice ball.
Yeah, it's always gonna go slightly up, which is not good. But we'll see how it works out. If I really need to, I can use a different controller. I prefer this controller. Feels better.
Nice shot.
And if you couldn't tell, yes, this is being emulated. I will apologize for that. I was planning originally to record this off my Wii, but my capture card is just not recognizing my Wii. I don't know why. It's just not refusing to recognize my Wii. But if I can get it figured out, I will redo the progress and go back to that, because I much prefer to do this on console than
Birdie putt.
on emulation, because it's just it
Nice birdie.
it does run decently, but it's just not right. I always try to play them on the original system. It's just so difficult because my capture card is so shit. And I say that unapologetically. Freaking Elgato sucks. I should have done more research before I got it, but I didn't. So don't fall for the same tricks. Come on, hole in one. Dang.
Nice on. Birdie putt.
Alright, we can put that in there. Going downhill a little bit, but not enough to really affect the shot. There we go.
Very well done.
I think we already got enough to basically win the tournament. Because I think, yeah, the tournaments don't go that high. I think it's like -1. I think it's just an even score actually for this first course. We got Wayne on a par 5. That's no bueno. Let's put a super top spin on that because it's not going to roll harder at all anyways. Go. 240. Not bad. Yeah. I'm not going to try doing nothing fancy with this shot. We're just going to get around these trees. Until we get to the stronger characters, we're not going to really be hitting... We're not really going to be making the green for eagle on any of these. Just not really a thing that happens in the early game. Is this still short? Ah, that went too far. Fringe. I can chip it if I want to, but I don't want to. Just gonna get that full power. Oh, really? I thought it'd slow down a lot more than that. Don't remember how much the rain affects these shots.
Nice ball.
So I'm learning with you guys with this game, because like I said, I practice it a little bit. But not a lot. But I'm also really enjoying the game so far. Like I said, it does get crazier. It does get more Mario-esque in the later holes. In the later courses. In the first courses, it's just gonna be, golf. Because, well, they had to take a little bit easier. Let's slap top spin on that, just so I can try to get it all over there. Has there been wind on any holes yet? I have not been paying attention, if I'm honest.
Nice on. Birdie putt.
Aim it slightly right and just hit it there. Nice.
Nice birdie.
I don't think you get the fantastic putt unless you use the, at least the medium for your putts. Which honestly is kind of something you want to avoid, because that means you're far away from the hole. So, obviously you don't want to be that far away.
Nice shot.
Almost a tree there. Trees severely slow your ball down in this game. Like, they would basically come to a dead stop when you hit a tree in this game. It is really kind of amazing how fast they stop.
Nice shot.
I think that's gonna be a bit short. That's okay. Ooh, eagle, eagle, eagle! Son of a gun, really?
Birdie putt.
Just hold over the edge there. Come on. If I could have gotten eagle on the first episode, that would have been amazing. Oh well. We should get at least one eagle throughout this playthrough. Hole in one probably not gonna happen, but eagle should happen. Then again, I said that for my Hot Shots Golf 3 playthrough. We got 2 double eagles technically,
Shot.
which still amazes me to this day. I still go back and watch them.
Nice on.
There we go.
Birdie putt.
I'm starting to get used to the putting a little bit. Not much though. Also, haven't had any crazy putts, which I'm sure is bound to happen throughout this playthrough. We've only gotten 10 birdie badges. That's better than I was expecting to do. Diddy! At 4. I'm playing with Diddy. I also forgot to mention that you are technically playing with other people. Oh man, Casey at bat, coming on dead last at plus 29. Yikes. Wait, what is it? A to C, 18th, not bad. I'm gonna, every now and then I'll check the leaderboards just to see the names. Because I would take this. And then for 5. Okay. Oh, but I want to hit this one kind of on the top.
Nice shot.
Just like, well, I wasn't worried about hitting the tree in the first place. I just wanted this thing to roll. So I wouldn't have to worry about the tree in the next shot, possibly. Yeah, that'll work. You'll notice I died. God dang. You'll notice I don't really use the auto shot most of the time. Because I'm decently confident in my abilities to hit these. And even if I wasn't, I wouldn't worry about it that much. But I'll use the auto shot for like chips because of how close it is and how fast you have to react. So the auto shot helps with that quite a bit.
Birdie putt.
Not a birdie.
Nice birdie.
I'm actually doing way better than I expected, negative 11. I was expecting probably like negative 5, negative 6. I'll take a negative 11 so far. Alright, last hole. Can Diddy make a hole in 16? The tie us. Or a hole in 1 on a par 16. Well, unfortunately for him, it's not a par 16. Wow, that accuracy was horrible. Which is still fine because of how wide this fairway was. Also, if you hit too far to the right of the green space, obviously, you're gonna go to the left. Hit too far to the left, you're gonna go to the right. I didn't want a super backspin, I went for the normal one, but I didn't react fast. I reacted too fast. Oh well. I can basically just follow that line back up to the hole.
Birdie putt.
Honestly, I think just a straight on putt. But I'm not sure on the power. Think that might be okay. Yeah, there it is.
Birdie.
There we go, negative 12 to finish the first tournament. Can't guarantee I'll get close to that on any of the other courses, but I'll take that for the first tournament. There we go, first video, or first episode.
New course unlocked.
Yes, you unlock a new course when you win a tournament. Because we only had the one course, if you didn't notice. And now let's watch the celebration screen, because every time you beat a tournament, you get a celebration. Because, heck yeah. Mario. If it is quiet, I'll try and turn it up in the next episode, but I didn't know how to audio balance this time. It's also very quiet, some of the voice acting is. There we go! First tournament completed! Now, I could just keep doing tournament after tournament, but I'm gonna do what I see actually a lot of people do with this game is I'm gonna do one tournament, and then we'll do a character match. So next time when we come back, we'll do a character match. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are excited for this way. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.